What does balance mean? What's the importance of balance? When I say balance, what does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? Balance. Balance of you. There's no separation with that. And I keep saying that over and over and over. Today, before we get started, I'm going to show you how it's so easy to set up an e-field for everybody. Okay, to understand that is to actually see the e-fields. It doesn't matter where you are. You're going to see yourself through an e-field, a force field. That's a recognition location to its connections of a timer. Now that force field comes up as this locations. Could be 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 24 hours a day, depending on what you want to do. The track center is the position that you have to understand every time you're interlining its connections to its interfacing and who you are connecting with. How many e-fields do I have to put up through triangulation? If I get 30 people at a party, that's times the 30,000 line connections of triangulation. Now that's a lot of e-fields to hold. So it's about understanding how to get in provision. You have to balance the vibration, the energy that's given to you, the harmonics, which is this communication. That's all it is. It's a data stream. We keep saying that through all level system. It's all communications of all division line centers of protection. So what are you doing? You're balancing, you're communicating, you're realigning, you're readjusting, you're refocusing your analytical graph system, the digital lines, digital analogical, connection interference, psychological, the psychosis, the interference, the interlining, the intertwining, the communication cycles, the reset line center, over and over and over. Everything I say is balance. Why? Because I know who I am. So it's sure to understand that e-fields are extremely important because you're protecting what you are from inside. So if you are the avatar, what are you protecting? The outline of you, which is the physical. So modification to its signals is to understand calculation. So when you're setting up an e-field, try to look at yourself as the e-field is going up. Not only you're seeing these things, but you feel better. It's like, whoa, this is cool, right? Boom, e-fields go up. It's the positive you. Like I said, always find a way to keep yourself high in vibration. Here, 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 here. More above the system. You start off with the 7-track waters, and you come into the 5-atmosphere location. So if you draw something out of the high system, you're automatically traveling through it. This is you. You have to understand how you are made. How are you made? So when you understand that, you are mastering communications of the male and the female aspects of you. So in that calculation, so let's say I want to put a rainbow activation line condition. All right, so I'm protecting my system right away. I don't have to be communicating with anybody. I put protection right away, right? Now, if somebody decides to come in through different color, so you have to understand the representation. This is how we calculate. And the only way to understand that is actually communicate and live in the future. Okay? All right. So basically how it comes into high center. In position location, that's you, that's somebody else. But that's somebody else's avatar. To understand what's going on is to understand your position location to your division. So your avatar is coming out. There's your avatar communicating right away to that person that's in front of you. It correlates its division location to its all levels of its eyes. See? See how that works? So the physical line stays on the ground, but your avatar comes out and right away scans position. You have to scan right away. Right? You scan. See? Scan. So when you scan, you know exactly where they are, the connections. You can use the green line center, which is all positions of the heart. Right? So in that calculations, you have an e-field that puts up its position locations. You can put anything up high center, any color. It's in reaction to its calculation. There's an e-field. So the physical line system and the avatar has e-fields up. Okay. So understanding the program of you is to understand the calculation, but it's very powerful when you put you on a physical line, which is 1%, Okay. And you have your avatar. So that's 2 in 1. So you're protecting your physical line and you're protecting the avatar of travel. But the avatar knows exactly what it needs to scan, especially when things that come in. So if you get another intelligence come in, okay, over here, right? It's traveling here, right? It's all about living in space, guys. And you guys don't understand that until you get into your memories. There's another one coming in, right? Now, this is all done through connections when you wake up in the morning or when you're recharging at night and lying down. So you got basically, you have to communicate with 2 lines. The physical line is going to go through reaction. So it's teleporting information to the avatar. The avatar is trying to understand what's going on with these 2 intelligent locations. So in that high system line interference, they automatically put up their E-fields. Okay, because they have to know who they're up against when they're communicating to its cycle. E-fields go up, right away. So when E-fields go up in calculations, the avatar of you scans both, right? So it gets in that calculations. Now, in that position location has its ground line center. Everything has a ground line center in position. All right. So it's true to understand your emotions, your track line centers in calculations. What does this person want from you? What's the adaptation system here? What's going on through all levels when you're going through E-fields? So it's very important to understand that the physical line has to have a field and the avatar has to have a field. 2 into 1. So where's the mind line center? In the atmosphere location, right? So what is it protecting? You in the physical line connection. Okay. So it's really understanding these things. And when you get into triangulation, you set up a division. Okay. That division location comes into this through triangulation. See, triangulation, right? Now you're protected. Now you're communicating. Not only you're calculated, but you're now modified through 2 line centers of intelligence. So what are you doing? The avatar is protecting you through the physical line through its fields, right? And the physical line center is getting full communication through the avatar. So the avatar knows exactly what to do when it gets up in the morning. Okay. How's that for E-fields? All right. So everything I give you is always moving forward. You have to find a way to be positive, not saying I'm trying to be positive. Change your connotation. Positive. Don't try to be positive, be positive. I am positive. Trying is in between. In between. You're going between 2 lines. You can't do that. You got to stay in the center every day in the center position all the time. So the physical line just has to understand that calculation, what the avatar is saying. That's all. It's a vibration. And that vibration has to understand the frequency, and the frequency has to understand the calculations. But if you can't see yourself as an animation, there's a huge problem. So you wouldn't know to put up an E-field. But if you see it and you're aware of it, then you're more awake, right? That's a true understanding what E-fields do to that provision. Okay? All right. Give you guys 5-10 minutes. Let's see where we are. All right. So now you know why it's so important to put E-fields up. It's not just your physical line, it's the avatar. Okay. Morning, everybody. Philosopher, how's it going? Joe, how's it going? Andy, how's it going? Everyone, how's it going? Terry, how's it going? Taryn, how's it going? Larry, how's it going? Barbara, how's it going? Michael, how's it going? Johnny, how's it going? Ambi, how's it going? Cobra, how's it going? Pam, how's it going? Gypsy, how's it going? All right. True Light. Val. It's important you really understand to really see what you need to see. And it's all levels of you through its awareness, guys. Universal awareness of you. The one thing you have to do is just protect you and everything around you from inside and out. Okay? It's just getting the reactions in balance. That's all for the physical line. That's all this is. Lindsay, how's it going? All right. Let's see here. Jessica. Heather. Okay. Jill. Danielle. I just like to go to the list. See how everybody. Cindy, how's it going? Make sure you guys drink your waters. Very important. So what's the first thing that you do? Right? What's the first thing that you do? You have to find a way to balance you out. And I say balance. When I get up in the morning, my e-fields are already up. I don't have to look at anybody. They're already up. The first thing you have to do, you can do it both ways. Either you can scan yourself to see, okay, how do I feel today? The interline connection is not information. So let's put it back in track center. Check, 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 check. Flight navigations, grounds, powers, the atmosphere. I drank my water. I've done this. I've done that. I'm focusing on where I'm going. What am I going to do today? What's happening tomorrow? So it's all levels of you trying to understand you. So it's all connections of you staying in the now. Don't focus on tomorrow because it's not here. Don't focus on yesterday because it's gone. It's not here. In position location, the only existence is you in the now, which is its future. So every time you're integrating location or clocking system, what are you doing through your clock? You're teleporting, right? Through your triangles, your vortex and communication cycles to the avatar stream. So what you have to understand, does the physical line understand these things? Right? I don't understand the formation line interference. Find a way to keep UV fields and position location line connections all levels. Chakra systems offline calculations. Chakra formations offline connection. Information, yes. Oh. So if I reline just line interference location, E field line position location, chakra interference, I'll be back in communication cycle. Yes, the formation line and rotations calculations. High position line centers, getting calculation modification line centers, open all track interference line conditions, stay in your memory interference. Oh, memory interference. Great. See, balance, 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 balance. Find a way to communicate inside. So that's the first thing you guys got to have to look at is protecting you and all levels when you integrate your system locations into one. That's the importance you have to understand, especially when you're traveling. You're traveling every single day. And if you can't see yourself traveling, that's a huge problem. And that's what school is. It's all about getting into your imaginations, right? It doesn't matter which video you connect with. It's going to know exactly what it needs to do. And it's getting into the clocking of where you're supposed to go. So what is your avatar? Navigation. It knows where to go through your timelines. You have to release these things because we're only in one timeline right now, which is the now. Don't get confused. Stay in that now. Stay in the positive. Be the positive. I am the positive. I am the now. Use your mind. Okay? Try not to think. I know it's hard to say that in that formation line centers. I mean, I'll be honest too. When I started out, I was trying to figure out, why am I thinking so much? Where is all this programming coming from? It's an old program that tries to resurface and try to crawl back in, right? So it's important that you get all levels of releasing the connection, okay? So the physical line can feel better through communication, right? So it comes two into one, no separation. The only way you're separated is if you are allowing yourself to be separated. And the first thing you got to look at, do I have my E-fields up? Check. Grounds, powers, atmospheres, drank my water. Water is crucial because you're traveling very, very fast. Okay? And you don't want to burn out. Water is its connection to everything through travel. You need the water. Okay? So, all right. So we're going to go to code line center and the interference locations. All right. So I set up 4 line interference. We're going to go through all levels. Black interference line conditions, space line. Okay. Setting signals position of the code system. Now it's all done through equation line center. We're going to go through a rainbow's line stream. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. There's 4 lines. All right. Now there's going to be 2 graph interference. One there. Here's another one. 2 line interference locations. All right. So these are pillars of light line rotation. Strip lines, magnetic high interference, magnetic line interference. In calculations, all right, I'm going to set up the ground line centers, the power line position locations, all right? I'm going to set up 2 box line centers, okay, to your 369 position, all right? So the crew units, squads in 1 and 2 is going to go through one track, and everything through the GFL rebellion and everything through SendMaster is going to go through another track, right? So you have to understand the coloration of time, coloration of interference, coloration of high centers. So this is will activate the high center interference to its program setting. So our recourse line center, you go into triangle interference. There's a triangle, all right? Set position locations, all levels. Now, because the high line centers of these center masters, they come into a higher level of coloration of a triangle. But you communicate to each other. So you guys are in line signal to each other. All right. So in calculation, we open the eye central system. Open eye line centers, rotation interference locations. So 2 colorations. One's green and one's purple. So the rotation line center in calculations, it's going to set signals and code system. Now the electrical line condition is going to be a computer adaptation interference. That rotates its position location line conditions. All right, so you're going to track line center in position. Right, see how it's coming in intelligence? Okay, we're going to downshift high center to all levels of diamond core line center. See the intelligence, see the eyes? In calculation modification line conditions, we're going to cross line center straight and go down to position location line conditions. See the intelligence coming in? All right, so we're going to high channel its position. We're going to down line its center. We're going to have a side cross line condition, side rotation interference. There's the intelligence. See the eyes and all that? All right, so in calculation line interference, code signal line position location unit squads 1 and 2 is going to go and track line center. I circle a high rise its position to its computer adaptation interference line condition rotation. Modification signals going to travel right through the eye line center. All right, here we go. Center position locations in high connections. All right, that's you guys. Both of you are all in that connections. You're going to split line centers to each eye line in rotation. Modification to its signal. So what's going to happen now? All the crew units, squads, and all levels of the GFL, rebellion, and the center masters are going to go through the eye line center rotations of someone else. You're going to go in the back line center channel communication of vortex. So it's kind of like eye circling, but you're going to go back. It's like that, right? So, and then you keep going back, keep going back, keep going back, keep going back. It's all about understanding, whoa, 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 whoa. And you get to a certain point and it's like, whoa. And then you got to open space. So you got all this expansion and it's all about understanding the telepathy of what you're seeing through your cis locations, but you're seeing through their eye perception. So you are seeing your eyes, but you're seeing through their eye perception. So don't get confused to that. Truly understand that telepathy is extremely powerful when you're going through somebody else's position to its proactive cis location to its provision. All right. So the eye line center, socket interference line condition levels, code signal locations of crews, units, squads, high line centers, GFLs, and all level connections, rebellion, and everything that's in the massives. Travel locations, eye receptor line interference. Okay, here we go through calculation. High position line centers. Signal line interference line conditions, right? All right, so we bring it back down to calculation. Small circle line interference line conditions. Bring you guys down to a line signal of a line rotations of vibration, all right? So what I'm going to do is I got 1 position line center. So here's the moon line center. In calculation of weather pattern line rotations, index finger, communication interference. And I press the button, and you guys are going to go right through the high line center, the eye circle line in rotations position. Here we go. All right, it's operated through signal and interference line conditions. Opening up channels back and forth line, back in communication where we started from this beginning. Rotation and interference. All right, so the eye circles are set up in high center line and rotations. Going to light signals and interference. Okay, travel position. Signal in position. See that? One to another. Now we're going to do telepathy line and rotation interference. It's true that you're traveling through somebody else's eyes. It's amazing. So you're traveling through that connection to try to understand where they are in their thoughts. It's all calculated and modified, right? So here we go. Okay, so we're going to put portal line and rotation line conditions. Another line center interference. So we got a left line triangle line conditions space, and we got a right position location, all level conditions to Mother Earth. Signal line interference. There's the intelligence. Location interference. Down the signal line and rotation. Now we're going to circle rotation line conditions. We're going to set up the ground line rotation interference. There we go. It's going to high channel its high center. Electrical light interference, setting sonar line panels, communication to all level rotations, coloration of signals in position, security positions, security parameters, high line and rotation. Through line positions, cross line signal. There you go. Now we're going to downshift high center line and rotations. Now the ground line center is going to set electrical line wire. Command up position, center position line center. Rotation interference, high signal interference, high position. Calculation modifications, change the ground line center rotations, change the position location of the power line rotation, abdicate high line rotations of atmosphere to change magnetic highway information system location, right? Changing line center rotations and sideline conditions. Full communication intelligence. See it? That's it there. That's it there. True stand through calculation, what it is through operation line interference. 30 minutes, have fun. Ooh-ah. Gonna get some water. So how important is it to understand you through intelligence? Is it to understand you through travel, what you're up against? Okay. Ooh, boy, so really connecting to all levels of changes everything your positions, right? Especially going through all levels of somebody else's perception. This is going to help you out more of what you're up against. When you're looking at visual locations, never look in the eye-line center, always look above. So, but I think it's powerful when you create these things. Right? Okay, so as that's setting up, let's go back into formation line centers. I really understand the calculations. I really want you to get into lulls, how to put up E-fields. So let's just go through a practical line conditions of a channel, frame the interference. It's all about really understanding you through practical line conditions. It's incredible for us because all you're doing is just communicating with each other. Just got to find a way to communicate through the avatar and not through the physical system. All right, 2 positions. Now, 2 same coloration line centers. Are they equal because of the same color? No. So you have to stand, even though you're the same color in an emotional track interference, you're different because you're different DNA. So it's next to impossible to be the same color because you're tracking interferences, low levels of emotion, and the emotion is clocking your system locations of 12 line centers, right? 12 line centers, right? Equals line center interference locations of 144. See? So you truly understand how to use this modification, right? And the thing is, this is where it comes into its intelligence again. See the intelligence? There's always intelligence, always, always, always intelligence in you. So this is calculation. This is the physical line. This is you of the avatar. Because the avatar understands the calculation, understands the map sequence, understands the visual location line conditions. So you got 12 line centers, okay, of the day, and you got 12 line centers of the night. And that's what the avatar lives on. But it lives on a 24 signal position, right? Because that's what you calculate. I live in all signals, all time lines in all one position. What's the calculation of the now? So living in a clocking of a 24 signal is its calculations. So 2 equals what? 4? Nope. Slash line position locations of 6, right? In position locations. Now you change that line center right across high system locations. 2 plus 4, okay, is 6. Okay. 2 times 4, okay, downshift line center is 8 position. So I just want to show you how powerful it is, how you can basically use calculation to that center, but it's always maths. It's not math. If I'm taking math as an equation, it's fascinating. I think I showed you guys this before, but if you take math, you can turn math into its formula. It's incredible when you do these things. Math, right? Math, right? So math is all levels of high rise. A is all position of atmosphere. And teleportation is all levels of travel. And everything through H could be high line center interference in position location to its calculations, right? Harmonious high center interference or low line center rotation interference location. So it's true to understand how to put this all together, right? In that formation line center. Okay, do you see the intelligence? See the nose? So in calculations, there's the intelligence. Ooh, see? See the eyes, the nose. See? Everything comes form of intelligence. So as you come into intelligence, it's no longer math. It's maps. It's always been maps. Now I can line screen in position location. See? And I can cross signal downshift high center. See the intelligence now? And I can set up a neckline center. There it is. Ooh, there's the intelligence. All right. All connections to the letters. It's amazing when you travel. I like to really identify connections when you come into 369. Let's say you get into a heart, but there's a line cross. Let's say you click that and you put over position locations. Oh, look at that. See? It's a bit bigger, but you see the coloration's changed, right? You lock that in frame. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, it kind of looks like a hologram because that's what it is, right? So it's all about mutating and changing things through the heart line rotation interference. Calculation, modification, line conditions gets confusing, right? This is where it changes your perception, how you see things, the modification, right? See how amazing that looks? See? It's incredible, right? So you just keep doing that. You keep platituning, making it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Information, right? It's incredible force when you know what you're doing. See? Isn't that a beautiful thing? So understanding what intelligence is, you are always levels of intelligence. Say I change the track center. Now everything I'm creating is all levels of me, right? Which is already done. So I keep layering it and layering it and layering it to position X, Y, and line center, lacing and interference line conditions until I understand the intelligent location. So it's amazing what travel does through space. It's all about communication, how to communicate to anything high system. Now, if I do one more line center, you're going to see the line rotation to its position. You see it? See the intelligence? See the eyes? See the mouth, eyes, see the neck? What is that? What is that? Right? Well, I can change height and interference and show you position, location, line conditions. Laser direction line center interference. In position, locations, and line conditions. All channels, high system. Ooh-ah, intelligence. So you come into this position. You draw it out. See? So you can set up scale line centers to the neckline. See that? You can open up all line center rotation interference line conditions position. Right? It's confusing, right? That's what space and time is. It's confusing to know only. It's about balanced communication, anything. How I started off with all levels of a heart into this shape position. Just showing you how you change position locations to direction. Comes into formation. Hold on a second.
We have.
I think we all understand why it's so important what intelligence is. It's all through formation, right? Let's say we go through all this position locations. Let's start here. See that? So what happens when I keep doing this? What's happening with the picture? It's not a picture anymore. What is it forming into? Intelligence. So it's all about understanding how to set things up. See? So the more you understand the calculations, then you understand more position, right? So you just keep adding on, you keep adding on, and keep adding on until you understand what you're doing. But it's through travels of the avatar. See? You can keep doing the circles. You just keep going information line centers. It gets into an illusion of description. See? So it all formulates what it's doing through travel. See? So how it's getting really like, whoa, wonky, confusing. Right? It's confusing the mind through the eye receptors. See? So you just keep adding layers and layers and layers and layers and layers until you understand what you're doing, right? So it's amazing, right? So when you get in calculations and you bring other formation of intelligence, it comes in the signal, right? In another line center. See that? That's in a frame. So I'm just trying to understand how space is set up. See? 1, 2. Okay, and I can just, oh wow, it's moving around. Right? So you lock it in frame and then you set up another position location. See? See that? And then you just lock it in frame and you set up another line center. See that? See how it's coming information? So I was trying to understand what you're seeing through the eye line center interference. Okay. So it's amazing when you see these things. And then when you get in calculation, you go into the ground line centers. See? See that? It's confusing, right? It's moving, but you don't understand what it is until you get it into frame. So in that calculation, it comes in this position location to its direction of what it's doing. What is it doing? What is going on with its frame of its picture? What is going on? All right, so it's all cloak and dagger. Cloak and dagger is everything, guys. That's the most important thing to understand that. Through anything through equation. Let's go through another coloration line center. Okay, so let's go through painting position. Go through the color line center. So we got a line interference coming in position. So right away, so you get 3 track line centers of pyramid in rotation. You obviously know they're pyramids, right? Laser direction line center scans position location to its direction right away, making sure what's going on. What is that? So it's detecting its system. So right away, the line signal sees its reaction, sets up its E fields. See, sets up the E field. All right, so the pyramid line center comes in, sets up its position locations to its force line. Okay, same with this. They collaborate to each other because they're protecting each other's system line connection to its position. All right, so it sets up sonars for backup communication, right, to get rid of it. So I'm just showing you how powerful it is, how you can go through calculations on this level, right, to understand the position to this connection, right? So space is set up and already, okay, through its galaxy line centers. We come to white trap interference. Now we go through coloration. Coloration is everything. There's so many colors that you can communicate with. Every color is connected to you. So try to understand how to use this in all division line conditions. So it's all about position locations from green, okay, from blue, okay, from orange, okay, from all levels of orange and light. See 4 line centers. And then you come into another position over here, right? So it's all about communication. It's all about communication. That's all it is, right? So once it understands its system line center, the coloration and anything in that position will start communicating with each other. Communication. Telepathy, right? So you have to understand communication is extremely important, but the lacing line like this, right? So we got a green line center. I guess it's like a lacing line of a snake. You have another one here. 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 It's all communication, right? So it's all about understanding this calculations when it comes into this, right? It's all communication. That's all it is, what you're communicating with, all right? All right, so it gets really interesting when you keep adding things, okay? It gets a little bit confusing when you don't understand what's going on. Now, what I'm doing right now is crossing signals. XY lines, X line channels, communication times pi, right? It's all vibration. But see how it's in motion? Now, if I keep adding signals and interference, let's say we go the opposite way. All right. Yes, this is confusing to the mind of perception, right? See that? See how it blends in? See the balance? So you have to understand what your eyes are through provision. You have to understand what they are through all of position line conditions. And you keep adding, keep adding, keep adding, keep adding. Now you can cross signal like a graph interference and go in this position. See? See that? So it's incredible what you're doing with electrical lights, electrical wires, electrical panels. And the thing is, too, is that you can go down in this position locations into levels of smaller wires. See the wires now? See how it's thick? Now it's thin, right? So you can go across again. So what am I doing? Creating, right? So you keep going, but all you're doing is changing your position locations. Let's say we had a line interference like this comes in position location. That's not supposed to be here, but it's there, right? So how do we get it out? You got to communicate to every single wire line center that was set at position locations from its beginning. Once it understands its waveline center, comes back in track interference, opens all signals and position locations back in track system, back into the same wave. So that's how you get rid of the black wire channel of its information back in position. All right. So it's incredible how to communicate with anything, really. I mean, these things truly understand you through triangulation. You are you. Remember that. But your higher level of conscious mind of you. Let's get into this coloration. How many colors are there? Dark purple. This looks like blue, right? Purple, blue. But it's one color. It's weird. So automatically, what's going on with the chemistry, right? You got a V-line center, purple here and blue there. So in calculation, what am I setting up? You got a circle line center. You have to learn how to travel through communication. Okay, how you set these things up is all levels of coordinates to this position, right? High channel and high center, always in 12 line positions. You guys are not ready to high rise that line interference. The center masters are already traveling. So it's all about understanding that you're going through a 24, 48, or 72 day. 1 day, 2 days, or 3. Okay. Now, when you get the graph line center, channel line and rotation and position location comes in as data stream. Okay, so you got 12 line centers down, 12 line centers up. Cross signal into higher position location, right? Now, it's all about connecting everything through division before you travel, right? See that? So when you travel through these position locations, this is where it comes into sonar, right? Same color, or you can change position. Doesn't matter. What matters is all levels of detection. See that? Look, it's a watch. See the watch? So it's creation to everything. Now, are you in a 24 circle, 48, or 72 window? Right? It's very powerful when you get in the ground line center rotation interference. But how to set things up is its position locations, how space works. Okay? Space works in so many line position locations, electrical lights, electrical line interference, sonar high line center location of channels. Okay? So, what do you think of that so far? Where are we through division here? Okay. No mirrors, no cloaks, please. Okay. Missy, how's it going? How are we in calculation here, guys? Rooted, pre-flight checks. Make sure imports a cloak. Use mirrors to hide. All right, so you guys are going through the eye circles of each other. Fantastic. And see, this is a perfect way where you can use the psychosis line and interference location at all levels of channel to the philosophy position. Your philosophy is all levels of you, but it's got to be inside the heart, because that's the answering pattern to everything from inside position. Right? As soon as you go outline center, you're not connecting to anything. Okay? You got to go from inside in all levels, because you have 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. What are you going to do to change your patterns, your rhythms, and your programs, your colorations, or your lights? Okay? It's all about balance, people. Balance. Okay. Put your e-fields up. Yeah. So it's all about understanding what we are doing for each other. Right? Danielle. Yeah, try not to think about it, Danielle. Try to get in position locations, all direction line interference, how you see all levels of conditions to its intelligence. Powerful stuff, isn't it? To its intelligence. Okay. To its intelligence. All through math. So everything that we do through math is all levels of maths. So math is no longer in its equation. It's in the imagination. So you come into force lines. Now, force line is this communications, all right? Channel position locations. You guys understand the conditional levels when you come to all that system. You got a circle line center right there. See the circle? It's interesting how you can do anything in line conditions. See how it changes position now? So you have to understand how the sun and the moon move in position, because it's all levels of you. Okay? See that? So you got to ask yourself, what just happened? See? Lost signal. See? It's lost signal. So you got to bring it back into calculations, into highline center. See? See how you move it? All right. So you lock that in frame, and you try to pretty much, if you can't get it balanced, you try to get in position, right? So it gets in line condition. Then you lock it in frame, and then you keep it going over and over. So if you get lost, you get back in position, right? See the planet? So once the planet is set, you lock it in frame, right? So what's this setup position location? It's a camera. Now that camera is set up to CCTV. It's pretty powerful stuff. So it modifies signals in position location. So it opens up new channel line centers to new sonar line rotations. So you can use alpha wave channels, rotation line conditions, and division. You can also use box position locations. See? In calculations, you line screen its position into its high signal. Right? See how it gets a bit more confusing. So you lock that in frame. Now in position location, it looks like it's upside down. Okay, so basically what's happening right now is we're moving the square, trying to find its position location to its direction. All right? Now it's weaving in. We lock it in frame in calculation. Right? Once we lock that in frame, we find another position line center to a new TV reception line. Okay, we open up all signals, right? So we downshift the highline rotation interference. Now it changes position locations. Now you can core line center straight and core line center across. Okay, road graph interference, high position location is calculations. Right? What do you got? A landing strip. See the airplane? The wings, airplane, guys. So understanding what you're doing is all levels of view through planetary line center. And this is how we structure everything in space line. It's very powerful stuff when you set up space structures. I did that too in calculations. So it modifies its position location line condition. Once you understand the division line rotation, it sets up its course line condition. All right? So when it's setting a highline center and interference locations, you're setting up stations of communications to its program. All right, there's the plane. So all level system location is set up. Once it's set up, you can change the line communication cycles and reset line center location as interference. Apply to division location. See that? See the dots around it? So once that's locked in sequence, the next 1000 comes in line conditions in position. There it is right there. Scans position. Anything that you put up, it scans the center of operation. Okay? It's powerful stuff when you do understand these things, modification. So we get another X-line channel in position over here. All right? Again, scans position. All right? So it's a landing strip, but you have to set up the planet lines. See how I set up the planet, then I set up the airplane communications, all levels 2x2000 come into 2 vector interference, scans position location to the same direction of the center of the position point. Now we change position locations, we highline its downline shift, right? So this is where platitudes division locations to its open signal. Now you got 2 triangle line centers and interference locations to its pyramid. The pyramid is set up to laser direction. Let's say we go to the core line center. We open all track line interference. See the box position, right? So everything's translucent. It's like invisibility. It's just like knowing exactly, just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not there. So we're always in cloak and dagger, and we're going so fast in position locations, you can't see what's going on through perception. But once you understand the setup, then you understand the position. So once you get in calculations, you lock it in screen center. Let's say we go in the star position. There's a star line. See the star? It's in the shape of a star. So that locks in frame. Okay. Now we cloak and dagger the highline center interference location. The X2000s go back into position. It's interesting too because they go into another portal opening right here in calculation, right? So they channel in. There you go. They report back to the sun line into the communications because the sun's a portal into all levels of the moon line, which is this program's setting to its system location, right? So as it goes out of the portal line center into the sun, there's a magnetic force line channel into the moon. So as it's resurfacing, it comes back in calculations and we get highline centers. We change position location lines. It changes road graph line interference. Okay, so we set up a new position locations to a new graph interference line channel, right? So as it's coming in on channel line center line rotations, we cross the signal interference. We open all channel line centers. We open up door line centers of portal interference. Okay, checking point centers in calculations. It's point system. All right. Modification centers and highline center. We go into a Fibonacci sequence line condition. All right. That sets its force line centers. We go back in calculation, reverse the hidden interference line conditions back in force line center. Right? Down through equation. So as we set up the highline and rotation interference, it's all about cloak and dagger all visibility. We recourse the highline centers back in communication. We get sun graph line centers. Okay. I'm just showing you how powerful it is when you see these things. All right. So we line strip into the center position of the sun, communications of the moon. Right? Communications high system. Now the XD1000s are on standby position. Okay. Now we recourse that line center, set up a new dimensional lock interference in position location to its calculation. Recenter its highline center. All right. As it's set in position locations, we go through the 12 DNA track center to its position location. See, you can see the tunnel. So as this tunnel is coming in, so if you want to get in the matrix line, now matrix line is a coloration. That's a singularity line interference. That's what you guys are in position locations. Knowing how to use the digital line center is extremely powerful in position. All right, so let's go into black circle location. Okay, so we have black circle line centers. Let's change the position. All right, so here it is. Start here. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get bigger. It's creating a black hole. And that black hole is creating a whole level of a new highline center rotation interference. So as it comes in position locations, we stay in the 12 line center interference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 line interference. Now the rotation cycles are set up high line centers. Now we bring in 2 satellite position locations, line conditions, where the XD1000 were, right? They set the course line centers in position locations. Division line center triangle interference. Now we open all line center interference location to a clocking system to a compilation line rotation, right? Modifies the high line center higher levels of security and rotation line position. Now we cross the signals in upline center position locations, downforce position, crossing over in calculation modification, right? So we set up a wet graph interference, high position location line condition to its position, right? Now that opens up a higher level sequence, high challenge rotation center position location, right? So it comes into a box frame, okay? Now understanding the box frame is understanding realm line center. So we set up a new graph interference line position, okay? It's like a cage. As the cage is getting in calibration line centers, we change realm position locations of direction, okay? So it's amazing how we follow up in all position location line conditions. This is how we set up new T reception lines in atmosphere change position locations. Challenge all levels, T reception line condition, right? So you come into coloration path. Now the green line center set up its position location. So it's understanding the resolution patterns, lacing line interference, and position location line conditions. Now, you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm just showing you how advanced you can go when you get into AI formation. All right. So as you get into higher level system, correlation panel, everything through TV reception is a line signal. It rotates its system location to its calculation of its moon and sets up sunlight interference location to all levels, track centers, to planetary interference to its rotation system. See how powerful that is? So you have to know what you're doing. And each realm represents its own line center to sonar interference in calculations, right? Green could be representing line center locations of abundance. Red could be position of security. It could be the heart line center division offline rotations. You have calculations all over orange. It's in the interline rotation. So space and time is all divisions of U. It's tactic interference. Tactic interference is all position locations to its TV reception lines. How to modify it through signal is another thing, okay, through calculation. So you have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? So I just want to show you how powerful it is where you can go like, what's he talking about? Not a clue, but it's a lot of fun, isn't it? So whatever I'm doing, it doesn't matter because the avatar knows exactly what's going on through your provision. It doesn't matter how technical it is. You are coming into you. So whatever you're drawing is already connected to you. All right? So don't worry about what I do through travel. Just understanding that everything is given to you is balance of correlation to its position, right? So that's why it's so powerful to understand what is going on with frame, what is going on with the avatar, and what is going on with the physical line center to the chakra system locations of a TV reception line center of space-time. Okay? All through satellites. All right. Yeah, nobody's at that level. This is extremely high rise. But what I'm saying is it's helping the avatar understand more. It's like a beacon light that heads the sonar interference to the antenna. It signals its position, location, and line condition. So it's incredible what you're doing when you're traveling, right? It's incredible force. All through 24, 48, or 72. So whatever I do, and connecting to wires is extremely important, right? You have to connect to all wires because that's all calculations. But in position locations. But starting off in division is very powerful. All right. I know it blows you away, Sambo. It's just truly understand that everything is given to you. To understand you more is to understand everybody else through their position of their perception. So, but I think we'll stop there because there's a lot of things that you guys really have to understand. But I just want to show you how advanced you can be, how you set these things up in space, right? So, other than that, you have any questions or comments? I will go back on TikTok. Please let me know. Anything, information, we're here to help you, to guide you into a lulls, how to get in your GPS, how to stay in your avatar, how to stay alive in this program setting. Really understand the calculation of this modification system. Okay. Taking all track light centers, all position locations of the crew, units, squads, and everything high systems to the GFLs are going. Everything to the center mass line and rotation position location. Taking metal track interference, high position location line conditions, back in calculation. Done. You guys are back. Hope you guys had a fantastic time. No school tomorrow. Familiar day. Back with everything online center locations. Be there or square. I'll see you guys Monday morning. Adios.